नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यानम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Sri Krishna, the Jagat Guru, explaining to us in this Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the 18th chapter that we have started reading since our last reading. Sri Krishna is going to tell us what is the difference between the Sanyasa and the Tyaga. That is what Arjuna had asked him. Arjuna had asked Sri Krishna, addressing him with the three adjectives of Mahabaho, of Rishikesha, and of Keshi Nishudana. These three powerful adjectives signifying the great glories of Lord Krishna. Mahabaho is, of course, mighty armed. One who is capable of do mighty works. Mahabaho. Rishikesha, one who has total mastery over the senses. He has total control over these five senses. Sri Krishna can control, not only control over his own senses, but even our senses also. If we allow Krishna to control, yes, he will. He's there. He is willing to control it. He is willing to control it for us, but we are not allowing. Our I-ness is so very strong. We are not allowing this great Mahabaho to control our horses. We are just trying to control ourselves, and our horses are going haywire. So, Mahabaho, Rishikesha, the controller of senses, and also the great mighty warrior who has killed, who has slain that demon Keshi. Now, Keshi demon, incidentally, I was just reading about what are his peculiarities that Sri Krishna killed him. This Keshi demon, he used to take form of horse. And taking the form, in the form of horse, he used to create all that wrath. He used to, perform all his evil deeds. So Krishna, being the controller of horses as the senses, Krishna had also killed this demon Keshi, who used to create havoc, taking the form of horse. So this is how Sri Krishna has done n number of heroic acts. That is the greatness of Krishna, because he could do all these things because he was Rishikesha, he was the controller of senses, he was the Mahabahu, and therefore he could also slay that demon Keshi. Like he slayed Kansa and Chanur, what we with our every reading in the salutation to Krishna, we refer to Sri Krishna as Kansa Chanura Mardanam. Likewise, Keshi Nishudanam. So this way Arjuna has addressed Sri Krishna, and Arjuna pointedly asks him, there seems to be some confusion in these two terms of Sanyasa and Tyaga. Now, what is what? Please explain to me. Please explain to me with certainty. Prathak ichhami veditum. I wish to know certainly with certainty. I want to know severely what is difference between renunciation, what is and the giving up for that matter. What is the difference between Sanyasa and Tyaga? Sanyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami veditum Tyagasya cha rishikesha prithakkeshi nishudana. And Arjuna has prepared the ground for this 18th adhyaya to get to know more about the sannyasa and tyaga. And Sri Krishna, being a Jagat Guru, to his beloved disciple, to his beloved friend, to his beloved companion for that matter, he is very happily, he is going to address this query of what is the difference between sannyasa and tyaga. And that is how Sri Krishna starts his discourse in this second shloka of the Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Srī Bhagavānuvāca, the Blessed Lord said, kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ nyāsaṃ saṃnyāsaṃ kavayo viduḥ sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ prāhustyāgaṃ vicakṣaṇāḥ. Sri Krishna says, look, my dear boy, there is this basic difference between sannyasa and tyaga. What is that? Kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ nyāsaṃ. The nyāsaṃ is giving up. Nyāsaṃ is renunciation. Giving up of kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ. Karmana with a desire. Kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ nyāsaṃ. Relinquishing, giving up the deeds, giving up the actions which are full of desire. I do something. When I do something, there is some kind of a desire in my mind. Therefore, I do it, isn't it? Any action that we do with certain desire. And Sri Krishna says, this kind of attitude, this kind of giving up the actions for with desire is termed as Sanyasa. By whom? By kavayo. Kavayo viduḥ. The learned people. Now, this learned people doesn't mean one who has got the ultimate knowledge. See Sri Krishna's choice of words. Sri Krishna is so smart. He doesn't allow us he doesn't give any room for any confusion. So Sri Krishna says, learned people say. Sri Krishna says, I am not saying it. Learned people say that giving up the works with desire, giving up the works which are done with some desire in mind, is called as Sanyasa as per the learned people. And sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ prāhustyāgaṃ vicakṣaṇāḥ. Vicakṣaṇāḥ is the wise one, the realized ones. See the difference between how Sri Krishna is explaining these two category of the knowledgeable people. One is viduḥ, the kavihi. Kavi is learned people. Like we learn so many things reading books and we gather knowledge. But vicakṣaṇāḥ is the wise one. Those who have the seers, the actual realizers. Sri Krishna says, what vicakṣaṇāḥ prāhuh, what vicakṣana, what the wise ones say? Sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ tyagam. What is tyaga? Sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ. Sri Krishna says the wise one, the realized ones, the seers, they don't say giving up karma of desires. No, you don't give up karmas. But sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ. You do karma, but give up the desire to get fruit in return. Karmaphalatyāgaṃ is tyaga. So here Sri Krishna, by and large, he has primarily, categorically differentiated between what is sannyasa as per the learned people and what is tyaga as per the wise people, as per the realizers, those who have really got enlightenment. The learned ones say giving up the work which is done with some desire in mind. That is sannyasa. But the wise one, they say that any work, the fruit, getting the renouncing the fruit of action, sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ, giving up the association, giving up the inclination towards attaining any fruit from that action. That is tyaga. Now, this is going to be very interesting differentiation of sannyasa and tyaga. Sannyasa is giving up the work totally, for that matter. Tyaga is doing the work, but giving up the notion of I am going to get anything in return. Sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ. That is tyaga. And that tyaga, of definition of tyaga, that understanding of word tyaga is not by any Tom, Dick and Harry. It is by vicakṣaṇāḥ. The wise one have interpreted tyaga as sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ, whereas the learned ones, they have interpreted sanyasa as kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ nyāsaṃ. Renouncing the actions with desire is Sanyasa. But that means kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ. Now, to explain this term kāmyānāṃ karmaṇāṃ, whatever we do with certain desire in mind, that hankering after health, hankering after wealth, hankering after getting a progeny, name, fame. I want this degree. All these things with the objective of getting something out of it. I am doing this because I want better health. I am doing this, I want more money. I am doing this, I want a good family life. I am doing this, I want people to recognize me. I want that name, fame. All these activities done with some intention of getting anything in return. When we give up those activities, the learned ones say it is Sanyasa. But doing any activity, doing every activity as the activity of the Lord, I am just an instrument. I'm just an instrument. The Lord has chosen me to do this. Without any intention, without any eye on the fruit of that task, fruit of that action. That is tyaga. That is the completeness of giving up. Because I'm giving up the ownership of doing the task itself. What more can I give up? That task is the Lord, I'm just an instrument. That mentality, that is Tyaga. So that is the difference that Sri Krishna explained in this second shloka. And let us hear, I will just read out teachings of Sri Ramakrishna on this point, between the renunciation, the Sanyasa and the Tyaga. Sri Ramakrishna says, the aspirants endowed with sattva guna need not do any karma. They are basically, they are doing karma, but they are not involved in doing the karma as their own karma. They are doing that karma as the work of the Lord. They are doing that karma as it is the Lord's work. I am an instrument. That is how the people endowed with sattva guna, they tend to perform their actions. In fact, all activities drop off from them of their own accord. They might be, like Sri Krishna had told us, that when I don't do anything. People may see us performing, engaged in so many activities, doing this, doing that. But when I am doing it, surrendering to the Lord, it is the Lord's task. I am not doing it at all. I am not involved in any action for that matter. What to think about the fruit of action then. So Sri Ramakrishna says such people, they automatically, the action part gets dropped for these people. They are not involved. It is the Lord who is involved. They are just instruments. Any endeavor on their part to retain karma proves itself futile. The Lord himself releases them from all such duties. And then there comes a stage when these, the great renunciates for that matter, the great Tyagis for that matter, Lord takes up an entire responsibility of whatever they are doing. Now, even the action like breathing, action like seeing, they don't get involved in that. Their breathing also is controlled by the Lord. The domestic activities of a pregnant woman are reduced as her pregnancy advances. This is a typical example Sri Ramakrishna gives, that as the devotee advances on the spiritual paths, how the Lord starts minimizing the devotee's duties. Sri Ramakrishna gives this example of a pregnant woman. As the woman advances in the stage of pregnancy, automatically her ordinary daily tasks at home, they keep on reducing. Till certain stage, she is fully active, and then it is only you take rest, you take care of the baby there who is there in the womb. That comes, that the Lord himself starts taking care of those activities that the devotee has to do, that the aspirant has to do. After delivery, she has no work except looking after the baby, and then a stage comes when that pregnant lady delivers the baby. Then she is confined only to take care of the baby. That's it. There is no more cooking. There is no more cutting vegetables. Then the mother and the child. That is the duty. Such is the case with those imbued with sattva. But the others who are not sattvikas should necessarily engage themselves in their allotted duties. What about the rajasic and tamasic? They have to perform. They can never get into that stage, the unique phase where the Lord takes responsibility for them. Even those people, even if they sit idle doing nothing, Lord provides for their bread and butter. Lord provides them for their clothing. But that doesn't happen with rajasic and tamasic people. Necessarily they have to slog, because they don't have that concept that Lord is doing everything. As the servant of a rich man does the work assigned to him, the devotees of Lord should discharge their duties. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, what should such people do? What should such people with the sattva, with the rajasic and tamasic tendency do? They should surrender themselves to the Lord. Lord, do this work for me. This is not my work. Once that attitude sets in, the ills of the rajasic and the tamasic, they start dropping off, and the sattvika tendencies, they start dominating. And then they come to the stage of that pregnant woman having delivered a baby, and now she doesn't have to get involved in any of the activities that are being done at home. Her only task is take care of the baby. And that's how, as the servant of a rich man does the work assigned to him, the devotees of Lord should discharge their duties, holding them as the Maker's mandate, holding them as the instruments in the hands of the Lord. We have to do it, we are doing it, but it is not my duty. I am not the owner of this duty. Lord is the owner, I am an instrument. Lord is the mother, I am the child. Lord is the master, I am the servant. The Lord's name ought to be repeated mentally while activities are going on at the physical level. And when people with these tendencies of rajasic and tamasic, when they take up this attitude, it is the Lord's work. And then that attitude, then that sense of chanting the name of the Lord. What Sri Krishna had told us, that before starting any activity, you chant Om Tat Sat. That's it. And then you get out of the bondages of doing that karma. There is no more bondage then. There is no more affinity towards the fruit of action for you then. At the appointed times, meditation on the Lord may also be carried on, and this is the gist for the karma yogis. This is what Sri Ramakrishna taught, that whatever you are doing, we cannot escape performing actions. Performing actions we cannot escape till we attain that ultimate stage, which is very closer to the liberation, when the Lord Himself starts performing actions for us. Till then we have to perform, and till such time that we have to perform actions, Sri Ramakrishna says, chanting the name of the Lord, do all your tasks and give up the ownership of the Lord to Him. Get rid of the desires of the action. You cannot stop the activities. You cannot get to that stage of kāmyānāṃ, karmaṇāṃ, nyāsaṃ. We cannot get into that stage. So what we should do? Karmaphalatyāgaṃ. That is what we should do. That is what Sri Ramakrishna teaches us. That is what Sri Krishna teaches us. And like Sri Krishna told us the difference between the Sanyasa and the Tyaga. As per the learned people, renouncing the works. Renouncing the works is Sanyasa. But as per the realized souls, as per the seers, as per the wise men who have realized the ultimate wisdom, according to them, sarvakarmaphalatyāgaṃ, Tyaga. That is what the difference between the Sanyasa and the Tyaga. Sri Krishna has made such a beautiful explanation of Sanyasa and Tyaga. And just imagine how beautifully he has explained the difference between Sanyasa and Tyaga. And this is what he is going to do throughout this Moksha Sanyasa Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.